Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're viewing this. This is my first ever entry into the blog today. This is my first time doing this. Did a sound check and it worked out pretty good. And today we're going to talk about the Common Core standards, or Common Core initiative. The Common Core initiative was introduced by President Obama in an effort to combat low achievement scores amongst students as compared to the rest of the world. We were currently ranked 14th on the scale, and so Obama thought, we need to create an initiative that addresses the needs of our students, and thus the creation of Common Core. Students were low performing compared to the rest of their peers internationally. Part of the initiative is that we have these basic standards for math and ELA. And so we were supposed to have states develop these standards for their students. Standards were to address pitfalls such as socioeconomic and regional disadvantages in education. They were supposed to be geared towards clear goals. And it was an effort to get kids more college and career ready. So we wanted to clarify the goals that kids needed to attain, or the skills kids needed to attain in ELA and math. It's very similar to Nickleby, but now they were trying to adopt something federally. So that now that, say a kid moves from Washington to Texas, they're not too far behind or not too far ahead. And so they were trying to pinpoint outliers in achievement and outliers in negative and positive achievement. The Common Core standards benefits schools because it provided some funding and more resources. So now that, unlike Nickleby, we have funding for this initiative. Teachers benefited because, well, let me go back. Teachers really didn't benefit at all. We just created a more concise measuring stick for the kids. Like I said, geared towards clear goals. So we were just trying to be more concise with our measuring stick. And it also benefited teachers now that they understood that kids who came into their classroom should know certain things. Students benefited because peer groups won't have so much disparity. Socioeconomic, and it was an effort to curb socioeconomic and minority scores and English language learner scores. And so we won't have these big gaps of achievement between minorities and socioeconomically those that were disadvantaged. And so every student with the Common Core would have attained the same level of education, same level of content knowledge. So there will be no, okay, this class moves ahead, this class doesn't. For what benefits for parents is that their child won't be behind, and the level of education and the amount of rigor would probably be similar from those in South Dallas to those that lived in Prosper. So it's better for those, it's a better measuring stick for those parents. The issues that I found that it would happen in schools, and the questions I was wondering is like, how would we appropriate this funding? How do we know the dollars are going to the right places, to where they need to go? Looking at like ISD's budgets, it's like looking at Mandarin. How do we know this is appropriately funded? South Oak Cliff High School is a tattered campus, but it's under the umbrella of Dallas ISD. Dallas ISD, instead of using this recent influx of money that they have received, built themselves a new administrative building. And there are many high school campuses and middle school campuses that need new facilities. So, I mean, so how will we know this money is being appropriated correctly? Teachers, what textbooks would be available to us, and what training would be available to us? What resources do we have? With the students, I didn't really see any impact how the students would perceive the difference between Nickel-B and Common Core. Parents, since Common Core is federally mandated, parents might have issues with what is being taught within the classroom. This takes away from the local and regional influence of what is being taught. If I was governor of this great state of Texas, I'm not quite sure exactly what I would do as it pertains to Common Core. There has to be more research. I mean, it's one of those things you wait and see those who adopted it and how they adjusted and shifted it into the classroom, and what were those test results, and what were the consequences, what were the rewards of them adopting Common Core. So it's one of those things I would have to wait and see before rather ratifying it for my state or not. I would have to have some type of litmus test available to me that would justify my actions. If students were succeeding using Common Core, and the achievement gap in those states were rising, then it might be something we should indefinitely consider.